Hello! Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? See a few of you hanging out here. Hey, nice. What's up, Leonardo? Yeah, we hit the 2 million mark. Both Natasha and I hit that 2 million mark. First to 1 million and first to 2 million. I'd love to see it. What's up, Edson? Thanks, Kimber. Thank you. Thanks, Caleb, as well. Scottish, I'm on server 1 and global. Yeah, road to 3 million. You got it. You got it. What's up, Ruben? So I'm just gonna chill, let a few people trickle in here. Big Joe Games 83, what's up? Shout out to you, and in Brazil as well. Hey, Cebu. Miguel asked, what can I say about server merge? I don't think there's going to be any server merges soon, but they've already announced that there's going to be more cross server content. More content is going to be coming. More content is going to be turning to. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, there's more cross server content coming basically, so it's going to mitigate the perception of having a low population in some of the newer servers, but it's not really a big issue. Hey, El Carter, how are you? So Ruben's asking me about. You want to know about your assassin stats and what you should prioritize next. You have 42k attack, 52% crit, 54 determination, 61% haste, and 35% mastery. What's your crit damage at, Ruben? That would be my next question. What is your crit damage at? Because that's a lot of haste and pretty high crit and determination. Tafari says, I made a sorcerer. That was a mistake, right? I'm class change 2, level 29. I'm feeling kind of useless, not good in doing damage. Defense isn't enough as well, and the healing factor does basically nothing. So Tafari, from my understanding, is class change 2 is a bit weaker for sorcerer in general, but I don't think that's any reason to feel bad about playing the class. I mean, there's now up to 7 class changes in the game, so. Pat asks, is prioritizing skill levels more important than prioritizing equipment levels? They're both equally important, and they both take different resources. Are you talking about if you have limited gold available and you have to make a choice between leveling up your gear or leveling up your skills? Is that what you're asking me? If you don't have that much gold to make the choice? Or what? TJ says S1 to S3 set up for matchmaking soon. Hope you get to join a session when it's available. Yeah, I hope so too, TJ. Satoshi says, yeah, thanks. I'm glad you find it informative. So, just gonna wait a few minutes longer, and then we're gonna dive into the first topic today. We're gonna talk about a few different topics today about the game. So, by the way, if you're here having a good time, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and join the Discord as well. Link is in the description. Darl asks, is there ever going to be PvP content in the near future? I doubt it, Darl. I don't think this is a game that's ever going to have PvP, to be honest with you. Tom asks, what do you think is the higher priority for Demon Hound, starring up or leveling the skill? I've answered this quite a few times in various capacities, but my personal opinion about this is prioritize stars until you reach certain thresholds. So for example, you can get all the way to 5 purple stars with no dupes. So once you get to gold, in my opinion, the most important is to get 1 gold star, which reduces the charge time of your awakening by 15 seconds. After that, the next important one after that is 3 gold stars. So depending how many dupes you have, I would get the first gold star, level your skill up, and then try to get 3 gold stars, and eventually, of course, you want to get to 5 gold stars, but most important is to get the 1 gold star, which reduces your cooldown by 15 seconds on your awakening, which is a big overall DPS increase. Baby Dark says, just got to CC2, can see you on the top of Rampage. Nice. Ruben asks, sorry, yeah, Ruben, I know, I saw your stats. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not sure what to say about those stats because I'm not sure if you're playing a different version than Global, but those are very unusual stats for sure. But they're good. They're high stats, just unusual. Regarding Cat Bun, pink cheese then waffle, the reason is because... I'll show you. You know what? We'll go into Cat Buns a bit later, but... Where am I? Cat Gallery. The reason is just this ability here, the Kitty Coin ability. It's just the best for DPS, damage, and accuracy increase. It's far better than the flat attack increase. Reed asked, does Wraith special skill and turning points unyielding trigger at the same time? Unfortunately, yes, Reed. So I see your question there. Unfortunately, yes. When you have 2 abilities that have that same death save, so Wraith's ability will take priority. So here's what is interesting. So you know Turning Point, when Turning Point triggers, you survive and you don't die afterwards. And Wraith's ability makes you survive, but then 20 seconds later, or whatever it is when you have it maxed, you will die. So when you have both Turning Point and Wraith on, it prioritizes Wraith, and so you will die after 20 seconds, even if you have Turning Point on as well. No problem, Ruben. We need marriage system, says Shiro. Yeah, it's one of the more requested features. I'm indifferent. I think it'd be interesting, but I'm more interested in something like player housing. That could be very, very cool. Vincent, I'm not sure if we're doing any runs today of Echo 04. Maybe. Well, probably not, though. We'll keep it up in the air. We'll see how it goes. Tafari says, I don't think the class changes are going to make your sorcerer any more useful, but starting over isn't an option because it took me 2 weeks to get to where I am, and I'm not far from CC3. I disagree with you. I disagree with you because if you look at the class change system, the differences between different class changes is absolutely massive. Like, properly massive. Alright, I'm just gonna now change the subject for a second. For those who have not noticed, we do actually have a big maintenance tomorrow. We have a maintenance tomorrow. We have another notice here. Oh, okay, we'll go to that secondly. Alright, we have some big news to go over here. So let's take a look at this together. We're gonna look at the maintenance notice together. If you haven't seen it, there's some pretty interesting stuff here, and we're gonna go through this together. I'm gonna read through it first, and then any questions you have along the way, I'll make sure to answer as well. So this is tomorrow, the 21st of January. It's a 3-hour maintenance, which is pretty fast. I feel like this game has generally pretty fast maintenance updates compared to other games that I've played on mobile. So the first thing we have here, we have game balance adjustments. This is the first time that we're seeing this. We have our first game balance adjustments. That is, in fact, the Sword Bearer class and the Acolyte are getting damage balancing, which is pretty interesting. That's something that I was always very curious how they're going to approach, whether or not they're actually going to make any class changes. It doesn't look like there's any nerfs here, but I think that this will be an interesting damage buff to those. So Swordbearer class, for example, their Dimensional Slash is getting a base multiplier increase from 180, 240, and 300 to 210, 270, and 330. So that's a pretty big increase. The spatial tear as well is going from 720, 900, and 1080 to 800, 1000, and 1200. So that's, again, that's, what is that? That's like an 80% increase, 100% increase, and 120% increase. That's significant. And then the second class, yeah. Oh no, there's another thing here. So the promotion effect is an additional damage increase from 3 to 4%. That's pretty cool. Like, so if you're a Swordbearer, I mean, for me personally, I wish they would give more tanking capabilities to Swordbearer rather than DPS increase, but here we are. 1 second here. And then we have Acolyte. Acolyte is also getting some class adjustments here. So Acolyte's second job skill, Twin Flame, base multiplayer is going from 180, 220, 260 to 200, 260, and 320. And then Death and Rebirth as well is actually getting a pretty big boost here. 550, 660, and 770 to 720, 860, and 1000. So this is actually a big, this Death and Rebirth is a big increase. That's impressive. So basically we have the first class balancing here, and we're getting a DPS increase to CC2 of Swordbearer and Acolyte. So if you're Swordbearer and Acolyte and you run your DPS builds at all, this should be a nice bonus to you. Can Swordmasters tank in dungeons in DPS mode? No, they can't. I mean, you need to be in your tank spec in order to tank. You have your DPS spec separate from your tank spec, but it is going to help your DPS spec. It won't help your tanking abilities. And someone else says they should be adjusting Archmage instead of Swordbearer and Acolyte. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But let's move on, because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of these notes. Let's go through here. So here's the big one. Are you ready for this? Melomon level up optimization. After maintenance, Melomon levels will be bound to the slot. Melomon levels will be bound to the slot. So when you replace your maintenance support Melomon, the new Melomon will inherit the level of the replaced Melomon. So this is huge, because this has always been an issue for those who are like a multi-spec, like we just said, Swordbearer or Acolyte. So it's really big. It's really big. And this is going to be a nice QOL for us, honestly. During maintenance... Give me 1 second. I think I'm having a technical issue with the stream. 1 second. Sorry guys, just had an issue with chat. We're back in business now. Okay, great. So anyway, what I was saying is, this is a really nice QOL now. We have this change that's going to allow the Melomon level up to be on the slot and not on the individual Melomon. So that's very nice, especially for, like I said, healers, acolytes, and swordbearers who are currently basically swapping back and forth between two main Melomon. This will make this process a lot easier for them. So this is very, very good. And as you can see, when replacing Melomon, the equipped moves will be inherited, so you can swap the moves very easily. You don't have to manually reselect them. One-click level up function will be optimized. So yeah, overall this is really, really good. And then they've done the same here as well for Melomon moves. So optimized moves level up, so move levels will be bound to the move slot as well. So when you change moves, the corresponding slot level will be inherited. And the move slot level up costs will match legendary. So you see here, we have another optimization for the Melomon system, and the Melomon moves as well will be bound to the slot. So you can quickly and easily change your moves without having to reset, unequip, re-equip, change. This is really nice QOL. So some things that you need to keep in mind with this change here is because with non-legendary moves, the level up cost difference, it'll actually decrease the slot level. So that's interesting. So if you equip a lower than legendary move, it'll decrease the level. So that's interesting. It's something to keep in mind. This might actually change. We'll have to analyze this because this, at the moment, there's an optimization with moves where you can equip like a blue rarity move, a rare rarity move, in order to get some additional move XP. But it looks like this might actually no longer be as viable. So we're gonna have to analyze whether that makes the running a lower rarity defensive move for DPS is no longer viable. We have to analyze this later. So again here, so non-legendary moves can only reach a max level of 40, and if it's equipped in a slot exceeding level 40, it will display as 40 with corresponding artifact attributes. So that's important to keep in mind. Similar moves will be merged and displayed together, and the move storage limit will be removed. Great to know. Next up, we actually have quite a lot about the cat bun system, which I thought was pretty interesting. So the cat bun system here added a cat bun collection function. Adventurers can now collect UR level cat buns. Collected cat buns will be displayed in the display cabinet, but will not occupy the cabinet's quantity. And when the collected cat buns appreciation level reaches purple paw 4 and orange paw 4, rewards will be given. So it's basically, I mean, I don't want to read word for word all of this, but they've added a whole bunch of QOL and optimizations as well. Fermentation for non-latest generation UR cat buns. This is interesting because this 0.5, if you look at this, cat bun added fermentation function for non-latest generation UR level cat buns. We only have Gen 3 UR cat buns, so this means that they're basically talking about Generation 4 UR cat buns, which we don't have, and I don't know what our ETA to getting Gen 4 cat buns are. But the fact that they're adding the functionality to filter non-latest generation UR level cat buns means that it's probably not that far away. The cat bun bakery levels cap is being increased to 20 as well. And they've optimized the auto lock functionality, which is interesting. Oh yeah, here, this is really good. So yeah, this is no longer going to recommend non-latest generation cat buns as well. So as we go through here, we'll see now there's a few more optimizations, optimizing the clickable area, optimizing the guild tree. Anyway, so this is actually a really nice update. This is some really nice patch notes. Optimized resource collection interfaces, optimized free bubble collection logic. And here we have some chat channel optimizations. After maintenance, the region-based channels have been removed and you can chat freely in different languages. That's interesting. We'll see how that goes. Oh, look at this. Finally, this is something that people have been asking for. You can now translate messages in different languages to the language set in your game settings. This is huge. So finally, because I know a lot of people have complained when they're in like an English-speaking chat and then people are speaking other languages, but now we actually have a translate function, which is huge. And then, yeah, basically more optimizations to the chat. Broadcaster rules triggered to when the first. Yeah, that's fine. More details to the smelt menu. Anyway, so this is all really good stuff. I'm just breezing through here because this is just like minor optimizations compared to the important stuff we went over already. Some bug fixes here. I'm just going to breeze through this. Energy display fixed. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so I mean, I'm just looking through here. It's all really good stuff. But the most important is these Melomon optimizations. And then, wait. That's not all. That's not all, because we have another notice that's just popped up here. Check it out. For those who haven't seen, we have our official notification of cross-server matchmaking, which is finally in place. So, listen to this. The following service will enable cross-server matching for Dragon's Bounty, Perilous Trials, and Waves of Horror. So, officially now we get confirmation that we are getting cross-server matching for Dragon's Bounty, Perilous Trials, and Waves of Horror. That's huge. That's more... That, you know, like I said, they're going to be pushing more and more cross-server content. This is, in my opinion, just the first wave. And this is going to be great already for those who find themselves on a later server and maybe say that there's not that many high-level players in your server. This is perfect. This is going to be tomorrow, the maintenance, yeah. January 21st, UTC -5, 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. It's perfect. Finally, says Orkin. Yeah, it's a big finally. So it's servers servers 1 through 3 are merged, not merged, but their matchmaking is merged. Then 4 through 14, 15 through 24, 25 through 29, 30 through 34. So that's going to be really, really useful. So ranking rules. Let me just quickly read through this here. So ranking rules for Echoes of War and Perilous Trials after crossover matching. For crossover match teams, if the highest and lowest level members are the same class change stage and the level difference does not exceed 10 levels, the team's completion will be recorded on the leaderboard of the server where the team leader is located. Oh, that's very interesting. So as you can see here, because the big question comes up with Perilous Trials, because there is a first clear leaderboard that is per server. If you have a cross-server party for Perilous Trials and Echoes of War, oh, I see. So I think in Perilous Trials also includes Echoes of War because they mentioned Echoes of War here. Ranking rules for Echoes of War and Perilous Trials. So I guess they include Perilous Trials and Echoes of War together. So we're getting Echoes of War, Perilous Trials, Waves of War, and Dragon Spawning? That's crazy good. So, yeah, anyway, but basically what they're saying is if you have a cross-server team for any Echoes of War, Perilous Trials, the party leader is going to be the server that gets counted anyway. Layloons asks, I wonder if you cleared on another server that you're not in, does that consider yourself ranked? It's just saying no. Only if you're the party leader. If you're the party leader, then yes. If you're not the party leader, then no. You won't consider you ranked. So that's very important to keep in mind. If you're doing clears for rank 1, you have to keep in mind that only the party leader is going to have it counted towards their leaderboard. But you'll probably get the clear rewards, but you won't show up in the leaderboard unless it's your actual server. So that's good to know. So anyway, yeah, this maintenance is coming tomorrow. So for those who are watching, this is some pretty good stuff here. The Melomon QOL plus the cross-server matching. It's not a merge. Like let's call it what it is. It's not a merge. It is a cross-server matching. So it's server groups. It's server groups for cross-server matching. Can we invite players from other servers? I don't know, El Carter. I guess we'll find out after the maintenance. We're either going to have one of two things that'll happen. Option 1 is that it's simply going to expand the auto-matching functionality. And option 2 is we're actually going to be able to invite people to party from other servers. But I have a feeling that it's going to be the auto-matching only. But I guess we'll find out. Are there extra rewards for showing up on the leaderboards? No. It's just for clout and flex. But it's basically, you know, you chase rank 1s. I mean, it's just fun. You know, that's basically all it is. You don't get extra rewards. Leiloon says it should be similar to how Rifts work currently. Yeah, it might be similar to how Rifts work. That's a good... baby, server 1's included. Look, server 1, 2, and 3 are now cross-server matchmaking. Server 1, 2, and 3. S1, 2, and 3. So they are included in that. So anyway, that's a wrap for these maintenance notes. I think it's all pretty good stuff. Something to look forward to. So there you have it. Kirsten asks, I'm your biggest fan. May I ask, how do I know, or do you know when will the Wish Melomon event come around? Yeah, we actually made a few videos about that. Melomon Wishlist is coming with the upcoming New Year's events, which will be arriving very, very soon. If you don't know about that, check my recent video I made about the New Year's events. Melomon Wishlist plus a whole bunch of other exciting events are actually coming our way. So that's something super, super fun to look forward to. Zone says no other servers beside 1, 2, and 3 get crossover. No, look at my screen here. There's 5 different server groups. Server 1 through 3, 4 through 14, 15 through 24, 25 through 29, and 30 through 34. Zoski says the Facebook page is January 22nd for wishlist. That sounds about accurate. Yeah, that sounds accurate. So it's coming very soon. Like, I'm talking the next few days. So 22nd is probably accurate. Yeah, Vsol, exactly. Let's make sure people understand this is not a merge. This is simply cross-server matchmaking. What is the next paper plane about? Mounts? If it follows the same pattern, the next paper plane should be about Gen 2 mounts, yes. But we'll see when it arrives. Tomorrow. Is there new Melomon in the upcoming wishlist? No, the upcoming wishlist will also still be Generation 1 Melomon. We don't actually get Generation 2 Melomon for a long time, like another 16 or 17 weeks or something. Kirsten says, thank you. I'm on the C server 27 and holding up for the Wish event because we also have Paper Plane Week 2 on the same time. That's why I got you. Yeah, no, it's important. When it comes to Wishlist event, it's very important that you always try to have it line up with something you need out of Paper Plane. It doesn't always work that way, but if you can, then it's really good. So, no one knows. Says, will new servers be able to join the events? From what I understand, yes. It'll be full server events. There's some events that are per server, and there's some events that affect all servers at the same time. I think it'll be the latter. Kev says, as a healer, should I dupe Leopard or Demon Hound? Trying to prepare myself as a free-to-play for 2nd gen Melomons? You should focus on Demon Hound just like everyone, Kevs, because as you get chances to pull for Demon Hound copies, you will get some other Snow Leopards along the way, but you want to, everyone, no matter your combat role, needs to get Demon Hound dupes, basically. Zoisky, can we talk about how to efficiently use cat bun evaluation? We'll be going over cat buns together in a little while. I wanna group together. I know I've seen a lot of people have cat buns questions, so I want to actually do a specific like little Q&A session just specifically about cat buns. So we'll do that in a little while here. Just answering some of the questions first. Miguel says, I'm glad cross-server matchmaking is coming. It's been getting harder and harder to find parties. Yeah, I hear you. Especially, I understand some of the later servers have those problems, but this is a really positive change, so it should help a lot for that. Baby Dark says, should I pull for Blade Hound or just go for Demon Hound as tank? It depends on your level of progression, baby. So if you're like just starting out and you don't have a single copy, it might be worth getting one Blade Hound and then put the rest on Demon Hound, but it depends. And for DPS, most times we would recommend just pull 3 Demon Hounds, or if you're brand new, pull 1 Colt and 2 Demon Hounds. There's a few different ways to approach it, but that's probably, I think, the better way to approach it, yeah. Zone says, I feel bad for you guys that aren't tanks or healers. I can't stop getting invited as a healer. Yeah, no, there's definitely a reality that you're going to find parties more easily as a tank or healer. They're just way more needed. Way more needed. Thanks, Kirsten. Baby Dark says, important thing to say, I have 0 Blade Hounds. In that case, it might be worth your while getting 1 copy and then 2 Demon Hounds. So that's definitely a consideration, Baby Dark, for sure. Carlos asks, what is your opinions on Tank's current pool of skills? Do you think it's lacking? And if so, what do you think is lacking? So, it's an interesting question, Carlos. I think personally, I'm not such a big fan of the fact that that the only skills for tanks and healers that actually are related to tanking and healing are in the pre-class change skill pool, and that every progressive class change after that is just more and more DPS. So it's like, okay, you have a Holy Trinity game, but only the base class of the tank and healer actually affects their tanking and healing, and everything else is just damage. If I could have my way, I would have liked to see that split half healing, half DPS, half tanking, half DPS methodology continue into future class changes. So if I could have my way, that's what I would do. I'd have it so you get like maybe 1 or 2 new DPS skills and 1 or 2 new tanking skills. It's kind of tough, right? Because they have this pattern and formula when it comes to class changes where it's every class just gets 4 new skills or whatever it is. So with that in mind, it's kind of tough to then say, okay, well, what if it's tanking and healing What, then you're gonna have 8 new skills or something. So that's my take on that. Gustavo says all games like this are always lacking tanks and healers. Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad in this one. Zone says I'm trying to get Smarty for healing build, Snow Leopard main, Demon Hound Thunder, and Smarty for special skills, but you feel like it's best, but not sure. I'm not sure I would recommend using Wishlist for Smarty, to be honest with you. Even though it is probably beneficial, I think that focusing Wishlist on Demon Hound is still better, and you will eventually pull a Smarty one way or another through like just RNG on your way to getting your Demon Hound copies, basically. Stefan asked, the player in your party, is that one of your other characters? If so, how? No, that's not one of my other characters. That's my wife's character. We both play together. I'm not sure, Neox. I see your question. I'm not sure because I didn't really pay close attention to exactly what clearing requirements are for each of the trials, because we just pushed them whenever we could, whether it was too early or too late, it didn't matter. Just whenever we felt it was worth clearing. There would be other people who'd be better suited to answer that question. CJ asks, do I have any plans to do a scholar and above CC guide at some point? I do, yes. I do have a plan for that eventually. Stone says, should I go for 1 Colt for my DPS build, 1 Colt and 2 Demon Hounds? That's not a bad approach, Zone. Colt is definitely a very good Melomon as well, but... And then Seiju also asked the same for the wishlist event. Should I go with 1 Colt and then 2 Demon Hounds? I still don't have Colt yet. Should I try to get 3 Demon Hounds? It's your choice. This is going to be the one time where the best in slot option is your choice. It's going to be your choice. So you can either go 1 Colt, 2 Demon Hound, or 3 Demon Hounds. Both are the correct answer. There's no wrong answer. So if you get a copy of Colt now, plus the 2 Demon Hounds, it'll affect your DPS output now. If you choose 3 Demon Hounds, you'll eventually get a Colt as you continue to do your draws. But it means that your DPS now won't increase as much, but the 3 Demon Hounds will also increase your DPS. So it's up to you. The answer is yes, both. Whatever you feel like. They're both valid. One Colt, 2 Demon Hounds, or 3 Demon Hounds. Both viable and valid. Dudang asks, is there a reason or benefit to clear trials ASAP? Not really. It's just chasing and racing against other parties, pretty much. It's just fun. It's just like, everyone's trying to get the first clear. It's like a little mini race, and it's quite a lot of fun. Yo-Yo says, when doing special events that require damage to advance, how do tanks contribute? So like for Rampage, for example, yeah, if you're a tank in Rampage, you're most likely going to run your DPS spec unless your party is quite low power, in which case you would run tank spec because you'd need it to allow the party to survive. But yeah. How many copies are needed to 5-star yellow Melomon? 1 second. I don't remember. 1 sec. 30. So 6 copies. 6 copies for 5 gold stars. Rationing, yes, I'm in server 1 global. Lolo says, people are getting a reduction in accuracy when reaching level 40. What's the point of the reduced stats? Are we in one party with a lower level, will the difficulty be carried over to the highest level? I'm not sure what you mean, Lolo, but yeah, when you reach level 40, you need more accuracy. You need more equivalent points in accuracy to get the same percentage again. So like before level 40, this would have given me like 104%. But the reason why this is okay is when you go to the dragon, for example, it actually, now you can see here, it actually gives you're 1-to-1 with actual accuracy. So the change didn't actually grief that much. It just set your accuracy to the actual accuracy of the dragon here. So that's how that worked. So I want to now we're gonna switch gears here a little bit, guys. I know there's a lot of questions coming in. We're gonna switch gears here for a little bit. We're gonna take a look at a few interesting new videos that have come from the other versions of the game. So let's jump in and take a look at a couple of these, starting with one of the boss related videos. So hold on a second, guys. I will pull this up here. So let's take a look at this together. We'll let it play out and then we'll talk a little bit about this. So we have one of the new bosses that has been added literally a couple days ago. I don't know if it's being added yet or if it's being teased. But this is the latest boss added to Echoes of War in the Chinese version of the game, I believe. Some pretty interesting mechanics here. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so this is a two-phase fight, as you can see here, and it looks absolutely chaotic. So, and now we have the cosmetics from this as well. But I think this boss looks super cool. I'm going to run back to the beginning. I'm going to let this play on loop, actually. So, how cool is this boss, right? Yeah, that looks epic, says CJ. I agree. I agree, it looks epic. Avi says, "Why is the boss so gorgeous?" I'm not sure the lore behind it, but how cool. So this is what I wanted to show because I've seen a lot of people talking about Echoes of War, and I saw a lot of people in the beginning say, "Oh, Echoes of War just feels not that interesting. It's like a reskin of the basic bosses." And I'm like, "Okay, but you understand the very first Echoes of War that we have in our version is a proof of concept. It's a proof of concept, and then this is where they're going with that proof of concept. So our version of these Echoes of War bosses are very basic at the start, and as they progress through the game, they get more and more intense, more and more well designed. Caleb says there's humanoid class bosses. Yeah, there are in fact humanoid class bosses, which I believe was interesting because this is a two-phase boss, at least a two-phase boss. I would wonder if... Oh, no, it is three phases. You're right, it's three phases. Sorry, I forgot there's a third phase there as well. So if it's a three-phase fight, I wonder if the first two are considered humanoid and then this one is considered monster or beast or something. So yeah, I would wonder if there is in fact a change in enemy type in the same fight depending on the phase that he's in. There's bandits and pirates from the stories. Yeah, I was just wondering if because the boss changes form in the phase, if it would actually affect what damage type he gets more damage from. Lelo says 3 phases, oh no mechanics. No, like for sure. And if you can see, this actually has a lot of different mechanics going out. And there's not... Listen, this is... Let's hold on a second. Did you see that arena there? We have three sectors in our current fights. That has 6 sectors. So if you think pressing 3 buttons is a challenge, wait till you have to press 6 of them. And wait till all 6 of your party members have to press all 6 of them. Vsol, this is Echoes of War. You can tell there are 6 players in there. So this is Echoes of War content. I'm just letting this play on repeat here. But yeah, no. Yeah, it looks like Buddha, says Anya. Yeah, kind of. That's funny. But Twister says, I just started playing 2 weeks ago. I can't believe there's boss with mechanics like that in an idle game. Really cool. This is the thing. This is the thing. Like, this is an idle game that's not really an idle game. It's an idle game that is also an MMORPG. That's also a Holy Trinity game with actual boss battles, with mechanics, with 6-player raids. Doesn't feel like an idle anymore. I know, this is more. That's what I've said. I've said in all my previous videos talking about the game is this is marketed as a idle MMO, but many times it's actually more MMO than idle, which I really, really like. The sectors look like they're in pairs, says Siva. Are they? Let's take a look. You could be right. Let's look again. It looks like there are pairs. You're right, a left and a right. So I wonder how that's going to play out mechanically. But it looks like you can also see there's symbols on the doors. Do you see that? There's symbols on the doors behind the boss. So I wonder if those symbols... And look, in the phase change, one of the symbols is broken. The left-hand symbol is broken. So I wonder if those symbols on the doors are actually going to play into the boss's mechanics somewhat. That's why playing a tank is very fun. It is very fun, yeah. 6 buttons to hit and then not fix the lag freeze issue. To be honest, Nico, the lag and freezing issue is way, way, way better than it was before. Way better. Reindeer says, is it stupid to try to max CC0 skills first because you're a tank? No, I don't think that's stupid, Reindeer. But I think that because you can still get the... Anyway, we'll discuss that. Sorry, I'll discuss that later. But with the purpose of tanking in these sort of Echoes of War, it's not a dumb idea. It's reminding you somewhat of Ragnarok. That's an interesting comparison, yeah. When you get one-shotted by the monster before the boss, yeah. I'm sure it'll have that type of aspect to it. Caleb says, finally, artifacts will be useful for different boss mechanics. Yeah, I agree. And it's starting to make sense why you have all these different enemy-type bonuses in the artifacts when it comes to having all these different bosses. Because it doesn't make sense. Why would you have bonus to certain enemy types for main story, for example? You don't necessarily need that bonus there. But if you're going to have loads and loads of bosses in Echoes of War that have all these different types, then it starts to make sense because you're going to want to deal more damage in Echoes of War so you can actually clear it. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think, yeah, 3 phases, each phase with 2x HP. I think we'll be lucky if the boss only has 2x HP. Imagine it's 3 phases with 10x HP or something. This would be epic. And I think that if you look, these classes are actually teasing... These are teasing, I think, class change 6 classes as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Echoes of War system. I mean, I know a lot of people maybe have a little difficulty finding parties and stuff for it, but I just think it's... No, I don't think F2 players are cooked at all, Kai. I don't think so at all. The thing you have to understand about how the game is structured, you're eventually going to be able to clear all this content. It's just a matter of time, to be honest. No, I disagree. I disagree with you, Matthias. I disagree with you, Kai. I think you're not going to be permanently locked out of the system. You're eventually going to be able to clear it, and as long as you're patient and continue progressing through the game, you'll be able to clear it. And who it doesn't matter if you're not on the leaderboard. At the end of the day, you're still going to get the rewards for clearing it. So, exactly, Reed. You're not bricked if you know how to manage your resources well. Exactly right. So anyway, we've taken a look at this video, and actually have a few more videos I want to look through. So we're gonna pause this here and jump into another video. So let's take a look at these 3 videos here together, and then we'll go over these as well. So the first one is a tease here at a collab. You know what it is if you can see the little screen here. Let's check this little teaser out. Yes, we have a return of the infamous Bugcat. So we actually haven't had the first Bugcat collab in our version, but it looks like we're not only going to get one Bugcat collab, but a second one as well. And look at these outfits. How cool are these outfits? Look at this. Bugcat emotes, Bugcat outfits, even the Bugcat weapons. Check this out. And of course, Bugcat mounts. Is it going to be free or gacha or buy? I'm not sure. It was just announced a few days ago. But most of these events are going to be a combination of all 3. I would be surprised if that's gacha. No, I would think that that's not gacha. I think it's probably either you buy it or there's going to be events for it. Yeah, check out some of these stickers. That's so funny. So there's that one. And then let's jump into the next video here. There's 3 videos I want to take a look at, and we'll go back and look at them again. I guess let me just put this on loop. Actually, we can let this one go. But yeah, we'll find out. Like I said, we don't have many details right now about how the outfits are going to be implemented, but most likely they will be either part of the event, maybe you can get them for event currency, or they'll be purchasable like the current outfits are from the event menu, or I don't think no, I don't think collab I don't think the collab outfits would be in a gacha because I just don't think that's how they will work. So most likely it will be either purchasable through the event menu or it'll be farmable from whatever events they have running. So that's how this will work. Collab stuff are usually paid. No, not all of it. We had the Maltese. We just had the huge Maltese collab, and the majority of the Maltese stuff was in fact free. Like the last Maltese outfits were all given for free. Actually, Arter. So it's the opposite here. All of the Maltese stuff was given out for free. Exactly. Even the Maltese outfits were for free. So there's a very good chance that it's also going to be free for the Bugcat. And keep in mind that we already we have, this is kind of cool to see this because we now know we're going to have not one but two separate Bugcat collabs. The double collab. No, Caleb, this is a long, we're looking at like this content is a long way out for us. We're looking at future content, just taking a look at it. But I don't know when this would be coming to our version. I mean, I would guess a long time. The Chinese New Year's events are what's coming next, but this is something into the future to keep in mind, yeah. Well, let's jump into the next video here. I've got 3 videos I want to take a look at. So next up we have this one, which is actually going to be, if you can believe it, new mounts. So this I think is, I'm not sure what gen mounts this is. I think this might even be as far as like gen 5 or 6 even mounts. But check out some of these mounts here. I think they're so cool. You know the one thing you can really notice about this game? Okay, this is Gen 4 probably. I think Gen 4, yeah. Twister more than 3 months probably for the Bugcat, I would say. But so these are most likely Gen 4 mounts. But one thing you can see, I don't know if you can notice this, as the game progresses and progresses, the devs are actually putting more and more effort and thought and consideration into the content they're putting into the game. I mean that in the sense that if you're going to have a mount system, you can see the original mounts are pretty basic, and as the game progresses, they're actually coming up with some really, really sick ideas. So personally, I really like to see it. There's 2 classes of developers out there. There's developers who start strong and then start to taper off as time passes. But the developers XD Global here for GoGo Muffin, they're starting strong and getting stronger. So this is a really, really good set of content. Like everything that we have in the game now gets improved upon and improved upon. Neok says that Pegasus should be a tank mount. Well, keep in mind, if you like the visuals of a mount, you can equip one mount and paint it with another. So if you like how the Pegasus looks, but I see what you mean. It's got like a breastplate and everything on it. It could in fact be an actual tank mount. The Sork hanging on the tail looks cute. Yeah, I think so. I think so too, Siva. I like that type of approach. The Pegasus is the best. It seems the consensus. It seems the consensus is that the Pegasus is the best of these mounts here, which I agree. I think the Pegasus is the best. Twister says, I'm actually a MapleStory player, but I like how this game does the cosmetics and mounts. It's cute like Maple. Yeah, I think that it's a good comparison, honestly. That's a very good comparison, yeah. And I agree. I think that the GoGo Muffin designs are very, very good and very, very cute. Vince says, I just hope to get the broom in this magnet event. Yeah, that's true. Well, mounts are very important, and the mount paints are very, very well designed. But these are actual mounts. These aren't mount paints. These are actual mounts. These are actual mounts. So anyway, that's very cool. And let's jump into the 3rd video here. So that's our 2 videos down. Let's jump into the 3rd video here and take a look what's going on here. I love these animations. They're always so funny. So I think this is the Wukong event or whatever it's called. You're yeah, I hear you. Yeah, there's Gen 3 and 4 mounts, yeah. Yeah, this outfit is sick. We actually teased this outfit a little while ago on our shorts, but like, look at these weapons. Look at that helm. And then, of course, you have, yeah, well, what can you say? Oh man, I love how they have like this really sick outfit, and then they have like the pig and this pig outfit as well, which is kind of like jokey. The monkey and the pig. That's quite funny. Arter asks, are we getting this next week or something different? No, we're getting something different next week. We're getting something different next week. This is future content. We're taking a look at future content. This is I don't know to what extent this is a collab. I'm not sure what the original source may be. But yeah, I just think it's really, really cool. It's just the Journey to the West event. Yeah, this is part of the Journey to the West event, which is quite a way into the future. Ziva says the choice is, do you want to look cool or look dumb? I don't think they look dumb, but I think it's a certain. Those full body animal suits are definitely definitely interesting for those who like that kind of look. But you can see here, like, look how epic these animations are. Yeah, look how epic everything is. Like, the devs are cooking, I'm telling you. The devs are actually cooking. And no matter how silly the monkey and the pig looks, it's still really funny stuff. But yeah, no, I mean I like the direction. I like the direction they're taking the game. Caleb says I'm definitely saving up the outfit gacha coupons for this outfit. Yeah, I'm actually not sure if this will be in a gacha or if it's going to be just a regular purchase. But yeah, I mean, I just think that with everything that's coming, this is all like recently announced stuff. The thing you have to understand is the devs aren't losing steam. The devs are not losing steam at all, which is honestly pretty amazing to see. You have so many developers out there that after the game's been out for 6 months, a year, they just kind of like taper off and but no, here it's like they're picking up steam and just going crazy and getting more and more and more and more. Anya says, I can see myself playing this for a long time if they keep this up. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Because the thing is, a lot like the way they structure all of these upcoming events and outfits and stuff, it's really done in a way that's approachable and not like in any kind of toxic way. It's just really well thought out, really well designed content, and it's really, really promising. Okay, so there we have it. There we have it. So I'm going to pause this now, and we're going to jump back to our regular layout here. So there we have it. So anyway, that was some interesting look at some future content coming our way, like way, way in the future. So for those who've been watching, I appreciate you hanging out, and we have something happening right now. Right now. It is time. It is time for our first giveaway of the stream. Thank you guys for hanging out. Really appreciate you all being here, and it's time for our first giveaway. So how do you participate in the giveaway? Very simple. I'm going to say a word. I'm going to say a word, and you can type it in chat, and we will randomly pick one winner from the chat. Get ready. The word is 2025, or it's numbers. 2025. Type 2025 as numbers. That is the word. Go, go, go. 2025. Good luck, everyone. All right, and 3, 2, 1, and over. And the winner is Dennis Stefan. Dennis Stefan, congratulations to you. You are the winner of this giveaway. Congratulations, Dennis Stefan. In order to claim your prize, join our Discord if you're not already there, and reach out to Nyato on the Discord, who will organize the code for you. Congrats again to Dennis. Lucky Dennis. But for those who didn't win, you never know. Stick around. Maybe we'll run another giveaway later in the stream. So don't lose hope. What is the prize? The prize is a redeemable in-game currency code. And while I have your attention, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, like the stream as well, and don't forget to join our Discord server. Thanks you all, thanks everyone for being here. So let's continue on. Melancholy, says Anya. That's my favorite emote for sure. I've definitely started a few melancholy spams in the chat. Hey Exodona, welcome to the chat. Do you mind speaking English in this chat, please? Because I don't know how to speak Russian. Thank you. Diogro says, hi Natto, hello from Brazil. Hey, greetings. How to get the best pet in wishlist for tank? You're starting in S36. Good question. So, if you're just starting out, then you're probably going to want to maybe choose 1 Blade Hound and 2 Demon Hounds or something along those lines. I think that would probably be a good approach if you're just starting out and you don't have a single copy of anything. But normally you'd choose 3 Demon Hounds, but if you're going to be playing a tank, you'd want to get 1 Blade Hound, 1 Demon Hound, and 2 Demon Hounds. Engines asks if we can make a free-to-play account series. Considering Engine, thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely something on the radar. Exona says, hi bro from Russia. Hey man, how are you? You're watching our guides? Glad to hear that. I'm glad. So there was a question that was asked earlier, and I want to just touch on this. So Carlos Garcia earlier, when you were looking at the videos, had asked if we could point out 1 strength and 1 weakness of this game at this current point in time. What is it, and why do you think that is? So that's a very good question. That's a very good question. So I think it's hard for me to boil it down to a single strength and a single weakness. But if you ask my honest opinion, I think the game has a lot of positive things to offer. I think this game has a lot of positive things to offer. I think that graphically, I know there's, you know, crazy, hyper-realistic, ultra Unreal Engine 5 HD graphics out there, but I really like the graphics, specifically the art direction, the art style of the game. I think it's very cute, it's very appealing, it's very cozy. I think, and I don't know if you guys agree, I think this is probably the coziest mobile game I've ever played. I don't know how you guys feel in chat, but I think this is, forget all the other metrics, I personally think this is actually the coziest mobile game I've ever played. For sure. No question. Like, it's super cozy. And the other thing I really like about the game is the way it's structured. The way it's structured, I really feel it's such a well-designed balance of idle versus not idle. You know, it's an idle game, yes. You have passive resource generation. There is a lot of auto elements, but at the same time, there is hard content. There's leaderboard pushing. There's 4-man dungeons. There's raids. There's 6-player raids. You know, there's a lot of positives there. And all the great updates making you, yeah, Fluxy, I agree with you. All the great updates make me want to play it more. I feel the same way. Ragnarok type of graphics, but it's better. Yeah, no, I agree. And as well, like, this is an MMORPG for adults. You know what I mean? It's gonna sound weird, but like, it respects your time. if you think about what's involved, if you said to yourself right now, I'm gonna go play World of Warcraft, or I'm gonna go play Guild Wars 2, or I'm gonna go play any mainstream large-scale MMORPG, you're gonna be in for 12 to 14 to 16 hours a day just to farm the materials you need to go raiding. I mean, it is a full-time job at a certain point. But here in GoGo Muffin, it's just the perfect balance. It's the perfect balance of time spent versus experience received in return. You know, in an idle game, you connect with other people in every action you take. You know, and in a world where MMORPGs these days are losing that connection with others that made the whole MMORPG genre, GoGo Muffin really helps you connect with people through every content in the game. So that's something that's really, yeah, and it's compared to a lot of mobile games, this is actually quite a free-to-play friendly game. And the way that the progression is structured, you're not ever being hard locked out of content. And the only thing you're really missing as a free-to-play player at the end of the run is sometimes a few cosmetics. But is that really the end of the world if you miss a few cosmetics? I don't think so. You know, and you'll eventually be able to clear the same content as the quote-unquote whales and giga whales and krakens or whatever else. But there you have it. Now, I could probably talk a lot more about this, but if you want to ask me about some cons, there's not many, I'll be honest with you. There's not many cons in comparison to the positives of this game. But some cons would be developer communication needs improvement. Developer communication needs improvement, and it especially needs improvement because of the type of game this is. One of the main considerations of this being a mobile game is that if you're a free-to-play player especially, your progression is going to be your most optimal progression is going to involve saving up resources and hoarding resources in some capacity. But as it stands, with the lack of communication, you sometimes don't know how long you have to save resources for, which resources you should be saving, what upcoming events or content will you need to save those resources for, etc. So if we had better communication from the developers, some sort of interim roadmap of some kind, not a long-term roadmap like give us everything that's coming out in the next 3 months, but if we could have like a week notice on content that's coming out, just so especially free-to-play players would know how to spend and save resources appropriately. But I have to say, despite me saying that, they have actually been improving and trying to improve even more on the communication aspect, as we've recently seen from them announcing the upcoming New Year's events and the upcoming cross-server matchmaking as well. So there's a lot of positives there. They're turning the negatives into positives. So honestly, and again, the only other con I can think of maybe is a slight lack of tanks and healers compared to DPS, but I think that is typical of any MMORPG. What do you guys think? Let me ask chat. Chat, what do you think? What do you think about the game? Do you see yourself playing it for 2025? Do you think this is your 2025 game? I want to see what you guys think. Craig says you're a long-term player. IP says, I hope the devs don't put stats on outfits. No, they don't have any stats on outfits. For sure. Wise Guy says, I'll be here for the long term. Yes. So far, so good. Strong contender long term. Nice. Yes, if they don't screw it up. Well said, Blazwak. No, but I mean, the one nice thing about having the other versions of the game is we have a pretty long periscope into the future to see what the devs are cooking up, and they are cooking well, I assure you. I'll play this game until all my friends are gone. I'll love to play this game long term, long term, long term, long term. So it seems like the vast majority of people are... Yeah, let's get a vote in. Let's get a vote in. I want to see this vote filled up here. Loving this game. Yeah, Vincent says, loving this game so far since it's so free-to-play friendly and so many updates. I agree. Fluxy says the game has so much new stuff, there's always something to do and it's hard to ever feel stuck. Yeah, I agree. That's one thing. I think the one thing that blew my mind for me personally when I first started the game, I felt that I could legitimately play for over 12 hours a day and not run out of content. Now, it's not like you have to play for that length of time, and you're not going to be worse off for doing so, for not doing so. But it's just the fact that there's so much you can do. And what I like, I don't know if you guys will agree with this, but I genuinely feel like the game actually encourages you to do content because it's fun and not because you feel FOMO'd if you don't do it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know how many games make you do content because you feel FOMO'd if you don't do it? But I actually have never felt that with the game. I actually find that I'm doing the content because I find it fun and enjoyable rather than I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, I'm totally messed up if I don't do this. Do you know what I'm trying to say by that? It actually is a different type of feeling. I don't have that sort of stress feeling at all with this game. Blazhawk says, I've seen Western releases get different treatment, so I'm always ready for disappointment. Yeah, I agree with you, but it seems like it's been pretty good here. I don't see that issue at all. IP says the game is big and deserves to be noticed by a lot of YouTubers and other gamers out there. I agree. I completely agree with you. Fluxy says, I agree. Great. Yeah, a lot of games can't do what Muffin does. I completely agree with you. Game respects the amount of spare time you have as an older person. I think that's a very important consideration, for sure. Zell says, the biggest thing I love about the game is trial gameplay. Yeah, I completely agree with you. The trials are sick. They're really sick, and especially Echoes of War is next level. I mean, the 6-player raids in a mobile game? 6-player raids in a mobile MMORPG? Whew. Sign me up. So I want to start doing a little more Q&A. I know you guys have been holding off a lot of questions. I want to group the Q&A together in topics because that way it's easier for other people who are listening in to sort of chime in and listen in and get a sense. So right now, let's focus on the Melomon system. So let's do a Q&A starting now just about Melomon. So if you have your burning Melomon questions, ask in chat now, and then we will transition to another topic after. But right now, let's focus on Melomon. If you have any Melomon questions, ask away, and let's see if we can break it all down. So Vsol asks, should I increase passive Melomon skill or star Melomon? So it depends, Vsol. It depends on the Melomon. So the one exception to most rules is going to be Demon Hound, because Demon Hound is going to be in your main Melomon slot, and you're going to want to do both star ups and the passive skill as well. And what I've always said is, if you want to know a good priority, get your Demon Hound to 1 star for the Awakening reduction, and then start upgrading the special skill after that. That's a good approach. Al Carter asks, how many Melomon legendary parts to get the Melomon? Carter, I think, unfortunately, if you collect individual fragments of a Melomon, it doesn't count as getting a copy of that Melomon. Can anyone confirm? I believe that's how that works. You cannot. You actually have to pull the Melomon, right? If you get 5 fragments from the guild shop, for example, of a Melomon you don't have yet, it's not going to give you that Melomon, right? I'm just making sure. Yeah, you can't combine the fragments at all. You need to actually pull the Melomon for it to count. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure before I missed something that I didn't know about. So yeah, that's the answer, unfortunately, is there's no combination of fragments that will end up in giving you a Melomon. You have to actually pull them, unfortunately. So that's just something to keep in mind to answer your question. Rabbit Hole asks, wish lists on Jan 22 or 28? Well, from what we know, it's coming very soon, but I believe 22, but we'll see what the devs announce. Lancelot asks, as a healer, what Melomon skills are best? So Lancelot, I would say, if you're asking specifically about special skills, I would recommend Arcane Resonance, which increases attack every 20 seconds until the end of battle. I would also recommend a Book of Answers, which you can see here increases your crit rate, haste, and determination as well. This is going to be great for healing. All 3 of those are going to increase your healing output. And finally, you'd probably run Invisible Friend, which gives you an additional attack per party member on the field. Now, that would be the best because ultimately your heals are going to be increased by more attack equals more actual healing output, and more crit, haste, and determination is going to increase your, your crit heals, your double healing, and your speed as well. So Chris asks, what's a good third slot special skill for DPS? You're going to run, Chris, depending on the condition, you're going to run either Sharpness of Claw, whenever you know that you're going to have a condition where you can get the boss's HP below 50%, or you can alternatively run either Book of Answers or Arcane Resonance, depending on what DPS class you are. Most testing we've done has shown that Arcane Resonance pulls ahead of Book of Answers, but it depends on your class. Rhea asks, what's the ideal way to level up your Melomon? To be honest, that's a little bit of a bigger question. I actually made an entire video on how to level up your Melomon, but the best way to approach it is to pay attention to your evolutions and to pay attention to at what stage of evolution certain criteria unlock for those Melomon. So you're going to want to, generally speaking, prioritize getting to certain evolutions on all three, your main and two supports, evenly, except for some conditions like getting to evolving level 10 on your main when that comes, in order for you to unlock the final skill slot, for example. So those are the kind of considerations, but I'd recommend you watch my video on a detailed video on how to level up your Melomon. Reed asks, does the Smarty special skill only increase one of the three stats in this description? Let me take a look quickly. Yeah, it's a random. Every 20 seconds, it randomly increases. I believe it's one of these three, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's crit rate, haste, or determination every 20 seconds. I don't think it's all three. Can someone confirm? I believe it's one of the three, not all three, because I think it would say and, if not. Yeah, it's one of the three. Just wanted to confirm that. Yeah, I double checked. It's one of the three, not all three. But it's still really good. So every 20 seconds, you randomly gain 8.8% of either crit rate, haste, or determination. Good. You see, I'm very careful not to give misinformation. I always double check if there's something not 100% sure on. So, let's see. I've got my Blade Hound to 5 gold stars. Should I keep looking for the Blade Hound or more fragments of CC2 Melomon? Or should I choose Demon Hound next wishlist? You should choose Demon Hound. So Miguel D asks, why am I using the plus HP blue skill in my Melomon? So let me explain why that is. And this was one of the things when I said when we were going over the patch notes and we saw that they were changing the move XP from per move to per slot. Right now I'm running the blue move here. Let me show you why. It's easier for me to show you. I'm gonna reset this from 35 to 0, and I'm gonna get back 38k materials, and I'm gonna swap in a legendary, and I'm gonna see how far I can get with these 38k materials. And I can't even get to level 31. So as a legendary, I can only get to almost to 31, but not to 35. So that's why I'm actually running the blue, because it allows me to get a higher level and therefore get a higher Melomon resonance deployed Melomon move bonus before running a legendary in that slot. So that's why you get a higher move bonus by having more XP available, basically. So Blazwak asks, do you take into consideration the level 7 moves bonus when balancing your stats? No. So let me just make something clear. All of these bonuses in the move bonus here only apply during Awakening. So when you see here, because you see here, during Awakening increase the haste, during Awakening increase crit rate, during Awakening increase determination, during Awakening, etc. So these stats only get added during Awakening, so you should not factor them into your stat calculations when building stats. So that's how that works. Now the one thing is where it says Melomon stats plus X percentage. Melomon stacks plus X percentage. Is gonna apply even outside of Awakening. That's just increasing your Melomon stats. One second, guys. So anyway, Let's see here. I wish we could paint Melomons IP. Yeah, I agree. It would be nice to be able to paint Melomon for sure. So sorry, guys. Just had to sort something out. Eugene asks, when you got your mythical moves, is it random or you did get to choose? Yeah, I chose all the mythics. So as you can see here, I basically chose the mythics that I knew I needed those stats for my build. So for example, I went to a mythic crit and dodge and a mythic expertise and mythic crit damage because I needed more of those stats. That's why I did that. Is Echo, Ika asks, is Echo good for Nightweaver? Yes, definitely. Very good. So for Nightweaver, you would run your turn Echo plus one of either Sharpness of Claw, Arcane Resonance, or Book of Answers. That would be the best for you. Dudang asks, what's the complete description for Chaos Gift? I'm pretty sure you can see that from the camp menu here, right? Because I know it cuts off. Oh, here it is, yeah. Every 30 seconds, 0 to 3 of the following effects are randomly generated for 15 seconds. Ignore 10% of enemies' defense, increase attack by 10%, and increase mastery by 10%. So I know, yeah, that's the full skill description there. Because I know it cuts off. I know it cuts off when you try to click it in the normal menu. Ajib and Josh, when the next wish list be? We've already spoken about it many times. The developers have announced it's coming very soon. Very, very soon. As in next few days. With the new New Year's Year events. Neox says, if I want to build a defensive build, should I use blue moves for attack slots? Neox, in theory, you could do that. I might not recommend that as being the best thing, but you could, in theory, do that. It's one you could do that, but I don't know if that would necessarily be the best approach because you do also need some offense as a tank as well to a certain extent. But you could maybe do that. Blake asks, is there a max level for Melomon moves? Which is an interesting question. So, Blake, to answer you, there is technically a max level for Melomon moves, but as we've now unlocked the Imagined Reality system, right now we can get moves up to level 60. Then in the next class change, we'll be able to get to level 80, and then level 100, and then level 120. So each class change, you get a higher cap on your mythic skills, and it's limited by class change. So it's going to go from 60 to 80 to 100 to 120, and so on. So that's how that works. Is level 11 worth it, or stay at level 10 Melomon bonus stats? You should go you go all the way. You should get as many as you can. It's absolutely worth it. DD Cannon, it's absolutely worth it. Try to go as far as you can. You can see here this goes up to level 140. I don't know if that's the absolute limit, but you know, a level 140 is as far as the deployed Melomon bonus goes here. What are the recommended Melomon passive skills? It depends on your class. But I've gone through it basically. DPS would be running your turn Echo and either Sharpness of Claw, Book of Answers, or Arcane Resonance. A healer would run Book of Answers, Arcane Resonance, and Invisible Friend. And a tank could run any combination of, you know, maybe they'd run Reappear, they could run HP Recovery, they can run Defense Enhancement, they can run Cleanse here, they can run as well There's an HP enhancement, I think, as well. I don't know where that is here. Anyway, there's an HP enhancement here as well somewhere. But that's the ones you would run as a tank. What are the best 3 Melomon for tank? Well, I basically just answered that, yeah. Why is Demon Hound suggested for healers, asked Solju? So the reason, here's the thing you have to understand. There's 2 things you have to keep in mind. So the reason why Demon Hound is being suggested for everybody, including healers and tanks, is not because Demon Hound is better for healing. It's because everyone should be trying to get as many Demon Hound copies as possible because of a chest system that unlocks when Gen 2 Melomon arrive. So when Gen 2 Melomon come, you're going to have to basically, the way it works is the more individual dupes you have of a single Melomon, the more bonus chests you're going to get for Gen 2 Melomon. So that's why everyone's saying you should get Demon Hound copies. It's not because it's better for healing. It's because everyone should be collecting Demon Hound copies. The best Melomon for healing is going to be Snow Leopard because the main skill is going to increase your haste here. So that's by far the best healing. So yeah, that's basically how that works. Zynkin asks, is it better to focus on leveling up offensive moves or balancing all moves? I'm at class change 1 and I don't know if the Melomon bonus stat is worth to reach. So Zynkin, to be honest with you, it's pretty important. It's the move bonus is pretty important. I would most likely do evenly, and if you don't want to invest too much in your defensive stats, you can do what I've done here and just run blue rarity defensives to get extra XP for the other slots. So that's one approach you can take. But otherwise, I would try to definitely balance it because these add up a lot. Like, when you have a higher level and you get the additional stats during Awakening, your Awakening will supercharge your damage output. Big time. Will Generation 2 Melomon be Mythic or still Legendary? I'm not sure, Carter. I actually haven't seen that. You got it, Solju. Neox, if your Blade Hound has more copies, you should still try to get Demon Hound copies. Because I think everyone will recommend you try to get Demon Hound copies. Uncle Zorb says, what blue moves am I running? I'm just running HP times 3. I'm running HP, which is toughness times 3. You just basically, when you summon your, when you do your create moves, just go here and uncheck this here. So you're no longer auto-consuming those move qualities. I have this up here because I only need legendaries now, basically. But you would uncheck those two, and then you would collect the blues and then equip them that way. So anyway, I think that's pretty much. I think I've seen a lot of questions come in. I think we're going to move to the next topic now. So next up, and I know I see a lot of questions coming. Keep in mind, we're trying to keep the Q&A grouped by topic. So if there's any questions you have that's not related to Melomon, I was not going to answer that. But now we're going to transition to artifacts. Because artifacts is another big topic. If you have any specific questions about artifacts, then let's go over those now. And then we'll have a general Q&A later on, but for now I just want to focus topic by topic because there's a lot of people listening in. And they want to, you know, keep it grouped up. So on artifacts, when it says on main journey plus stat for every X condition, does that stat increase only apply on main journey mode? So yes. And let me see if I can quickly pull one of those up. There. Oh, no, sorry. Okay, I misunderstood you. You mean this one? No, that doesn't apply. Okay, I understand now. Sorry, I misunderstood. Okay, no, I misunderstood you. When you're talking about these, so in the main journey, for every 200 bosses defeated, increase your block by 32 points, and effective count X out of X. So, no. That applies your stats in all modes. This increases your stats in all modes, not just in main story. It's just giving you a condition, and satisfying that condition increases your stats. Satisfying that condition increases your stats. Does that make sense? Yeah, there you go. It's quite vague, but there you have it. Rupert says, can you explain resonance in artifacts? So there's a few things to keep in mind. That's a very big question, to be honest. But the way resonance works is you obviously collect these resonance stones, and there's different rarities. You have blue rarity, purple rarity, advanced resonance stones, and then you have eventually these ultra extreme resonance stones. But essentially what you're doing is when you're resonating the artifacts, you're increasing the passive effects. And when you star up the artifact, you're increasing both the basic stats and the passive effect as well, and to a higher degree. So resonating is increasing the passive effect. And there's another consideration when it comes to resonating, which is artifact bonds. So you not only have this resonating here, which you can see +8, +8. The resonance is this plus number. So these are all +8 resonance, +6, +8, +6, etc. And in artifact bonds, you have these groups of artifacts that give you additional bonus depending on your resonance level. And depending on your current progression and priority, there's a generally accepted order of best priority when it comes to resonating. That would be, I actually made a video on it, and I would recommend watching that video because I can't really condense all that information into a short form answer. But it would be like everything to +4, then certain to +6, then certain to +9, then etc. So that's how that works. You're going to prioritize quite a lot these stat bias ones. By the way, for those who didn't know, you can in fact group your artifacts by their conditions here. So stat bias, you can have the economic effect ones, combat effects, etc. So that's something, in case you didn't know, that's quite handy to group them. So next up, let's see. Blazwick asks, do we know when and how we can catch up on artifacts missing for old zones? I'm not sure exactly, Blazwick, but I just know that generally people will say that it's always best to pull the most recent zone only. So maybe there will be something in the future where we can get the older ones, but for now I'm not 100% sure. Chris asks, what place is void in artifacts? So the void zone is, I'll show you. Void zone is here. It's going to be Waves of Horror. So void zone is Waves of Horror. You can see here void. But there might be other modes. Now, when you go and look at Echoes of War, for example, each boss is in a different biome. So right now, the first is Volcano. So Inferno Dragon Feast is Volcano biome. And the second Echoes of War, Bane of Lures, is in the Desert biome. Then you can see here the Dragon Bounty is in the Volcano biome. Waves of Horror is in the Void biome. And so on. Even some of these perilous trials, you see this one's in desert, this one's in desert, Siege is in forest, Mad Giant is in snowfields. So that's how that works. So the different biome zone artifacts, that's how that works. So Void is Waves of Horror for now, and if there's any other boss coming. Reed says, if you haven't unlocked all of a region artifacts, should you move on to unlock them all and move to the next region? Reed, generally speaking, people will recommend that you always pull from the most up-to-date region that you have access to. So don't go back and do an old region that you're still missing artifacts from. Always progress forwards. Soldier says, are blue rarity artifacts the lowest priority upgrade since it doesn't add to the set bonus? Soldier, once you have everything to +4, so you will get everything to +4, then you will start going through and prioritizing the artifact bonds and then also the artifacts that give economic effects like increased AFK time and bonus chance to draw bonus bubbles and stuff like that. Reed also asks, is it better to upgrade scaling artifacts, i.e. per elite defeated, than flat value artifacts? No, they're both good. I don't think there's better or worse. So they're both very good, but you can see the values here. So let's actually look. So let's see if we can pull up. So here. So for every 1,000 bosses increased tenacity, this gives 415.8 tenacity. Let me see if I can find a flat tenacity. Let me see if I can find a flat tenacity piece to compare it to. Here. Well, it's kind of hard because there's not actually a flat tenacity beast. Let me look for a better example here. For every 2,000 elites, it's plus 151 endurance. Let's see if we can find one that just gives flat. Are there any legendaries that give flat? I think it's maybe only for attack. Let's see. Let's look at attack, see if we can get this. So here. So this gives 319 attack. And then in comparison, the clear vision gives 415 attack for this condition. So I think it depends. I was just trying to see if there's a clear answer, but there's not a clear answer. The answer is check. You can check how much stats they each give and determine which one is going to give you more stats. That's the best way. Read. Sorry, I had to just double check that. Saurabh says the artifact pack where there were 4 new artifacts are given. Will they be available later? Yes. That artifact pack is already... All of those artifacts are already available. They were from the volcano region. And so most players should have those by now, unless they got bad RNG. Anya asks, can you reset artifacts? No. Which is interesting. And this is one of the only systems in the game where you cannot reset artifacts. So once you make a decision in artifacts, it is permanent. So if you decide to resonate, if you decide to star up, etc., you can't undo that. So that is an important consideration, and is why artifacts are an important system to understand well, because there is no ability to reset them. Vsol asks, humanoid artifacts are for what? So humanoid artifacts are for humanoid type enemies. So each enemy has a type in addition to a biome. So there's going to be, like, as I go through here, maybe there's going to be like humanoid, beast, etc. And each one of those effects are going to have an additional damage increase to that enemy type. And I think most of those are in Epic. Let's see if we can find a couple of those. Let's see. Damage to... I'm going to just see which ones. Oh yeah, here we go. So demonic enemies, mechanical enemies, creature enemies, elemental enemies, etc. I'm pretty sure when you look at... Let me see if I can pull this up, because if I pull up this one, for example... Here, there it is. So when you click on an enemy, especially a boss, you'll see their type here. So King of Desert is a humanoid. So that's where you see the type. And if you go and I click on a different boss, like this one here, you see this is a type dragon. Siege of Forest, this is a type mechanical. So that's where you can tell which type the enemy is. So you have 2 considerations when it comes to artifact damage. It's both the biome, i.e. forest, desert, void, plus the enemy type, i.e. humanoid, mechanical, etc. So those 2 things both factor together to determine your damage output. So Sarab's asking again, the 4 artifacts that are available for $15 were the Azure Dragon Seal, White Tiger Seal, Vermilion Bird Seal, and Black Tortoise Seal. They're currently available. Yes. Those are here. Look. Look. Sarab, here. I have all of them. Azure Dragon Seal, Vermilion Seal, White Seal, Dragon Seal. You see here. What I meant is you're getting them early in the pack, but they're not only available in the pack. They're from the Volcano region. They're from the Volcano region. So they were just giving you them early, giving you a choice of them early, but you can still get them as free to play from the Volcano region once you get there. So that's how that worked. Anyway. By the way, guys, for those who are watching, I just want to say again, thank you for being here. If you're having a good time, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. When this video reaches 120 likes, we will do a, well, let's say 100 likes. When this video reaches 100 likes, we'll do the next giveaway. And for now, we've covered Melomon, we've covered artifacts. Let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, cat buns. Yep, Sarab, exactly. They're giving it early. So, it is time for cat buns. So, as we transition through this Q&A session, if you have questions about cat buns, now is the time to ask. It depends on your class, always they to work, but that's generally correct. Suong says, how do we change flavors on cat buns? You cannot change flavors on cat buns. That is the RNG of the cat bun system, is you are pulling cat buns and each cat bun has random flavors. And it is up to RNG whether or not you get a cat bun that has good flavors or bad flavors. So you can't change them. You can simply get better ones. Sarab says, I've not reached this mode yet. You'll unlock cat buns pretty far into progression. If you're new to the game, you will not see the system yet, but it will eventually show up for you. Any tips on combining cat buns? Yes, I do have a tip on combining cat buns, which is very important. Now, the most important thing is actually regarding your bakery level, and I've actually referenced this in a couple videos, but if you go into your cat gallery, each one of these URSP cat buns unlocks at a different bakery level. So if I go back in bakery levels, you'll see here that at level 7 you unlock the green tea cheese bun, at level 8 you unlock the waffle cheese bun, and at level 9 you unlock the pink cheese bun. So what does that mean? It means that it's very important if you are a DPS that you do not combine cat buns until you reach level 9 bakery. If you're a healer, you can combine cat buns once you reach level 8 bakery. If you're a tank, you can combine cat buns whenever you like because there's no really good UR cat buns for you anyway, as the best cat bun for you as a tank is going to be the dark choco cheese bun. The layered cheese bun, excuse me. The layered cheese bun is going to be the best for a tank, which is actually an SSR cat bun anyway, not a UR cat bun. So that's how that works. What's the best and worst cat bun? I actually made a video talking about this, but just quickly, pig cheese is the best for DPS. The kitty coin is the best DPS. Waffle cheese cat is the best for healers, which has got a flat attack increase. And layered cheese bun is the best for tanks with broken meow clock, which gives you an additional lethal damage save. How do you activate the trait effect? So the way the trait effect works is when you have your cat buns in your team here, the number of symbols of flavors that you have activated here are added together to determine what flavor effects you have. So if you click on flavor effect and trait notes, you'll see here each level of flavor requires a certain number of flavors to be lit up. So level 1 requires 4 symbols, level 2 requires 8 symbols, level 3 requires 12 symbols, 16 symbols for level 4, and 20 symbols for level 5. Now those symbols are actually here. So in order for you to get level 4, you'd need 4 symbols lit up in all 4, which means you would have to have the same type in all of them. So yeah, that's how that works. So in order to get these flavor effects, you need to have these symbols. So I have 1, 2, 3 lively, then I have 1, 2, 3 lively here. So I have 6 lively symbols. So you can see here, you can see my progress to flavor effects here. You can have more than one flavor active. You are correct, yes. So I have lively active. I have 6 lively flavors lit up. So I have level 1 lively. I have 8 strong lit up. So I have level 2 strong. I have 6 sturdy lit up. So I have level 1 sturdy. And I have 4 chubby. So I have level 1 chubby. So the more symbols you have activated by leveling up those flavors, that's how you get the flavor effects. You can have two flavors of the same type active at once, but that's not optimal long term. It's just what you can get on the way to getting best in slot. Chris asks, what is cat buns and how should I prepare for it? If you're at that point in progression where you don't know what cat buns is, please go back and watch my 2 or 3 videos about the cat bun system, and you will be an expert because there's a lot of information to cover, more than I could cover in one single stream for sure. Willie the Pooh says, I have yet to receive one cat bun with either of my recommended traits. Am I really unlucky, or is there a certain level I have to reach? So, Willie, basically, until you reach level 7 and start getting Gen 3 cat buns, it's going to be almost impossible to get even slightly recommended traits. Because prior to Gen 3 and UR cat buns, you're never going to... So, UR cat buns are the only rarity cat buns that can have 5 of the same symbol in each flavor slot. Prior to your cat buns, you cannot have all 5 of the symbols line up at all. So you're going to not be able to start pulling your best in slots until you reach bakery level 7. And that's when you're going to start getting the Gen 3 cat buns and the UR cat buns as well from flavor combining. Lynn says, do you upgrade the flavors for only one blue type? Is it worth upgrading a second if you don't have the same blue at all? Yes, Lynn, you can upgrade multiple blue types, the multiple shell, or what is it called, body stats, so you can get more attack until you get a better loadout. Rupert says, is level 9 for DPS for free-to-play that's going to take a while? Yes, it will take a while, but you'll thank me later because you'll be able to fuse your kitty coin. Now, I've had really bad RNG, as you can see here. I've done almost 1,800 cat bun bakes, and I still do not have one single kitty coin. So if you're sitting there, if you're a player sitting here and you're saying to yourself, boy, I have such bad RNG in this cat bun system, keep in mind, I've baked 1,800 times, and I do not have kitty coin. Not a single one. So don't feel bad. It's a tough RNG system, and you just got to power through it and keep at it. Do your dailies, collect your cat fruit wood, and just keep combining because it is tough, tough, tough. And I'm just cooked, honestly. I just have really bad RNG cat buns. Reed asks, what does that check in the flavor preview mean? Does it show more often in that specific cat bun? I'm not sure what you mean, Reed. Can you rephrase your question? You got it, Willie. No problem. Should we ferment all normal and rare cat buns directly? Reindeer, I would suggest once you reach level 7 bakery, you can automatically ferment all normal and rare cat buns from generation 1 and 2. Just from generation 1 and 2. Eventually, when you get further into progression, then you can also ferment normal and rare cat buns for generation 3. But just at the beginning, I would suggest just generation 1 and 2. Can you summon UR or only combine them? No, you can only combine to get URs. There is no way to summon for them. Thanks, David. Appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the content. Okami's referring to recommended stat. Oh, like here? So, when you preview the SP cat buns and the flavors on them below, got to check on them. Oh, you mean this, the recommended flavors? So, yeah, this check mark is depending on how many of the cat buns flavors are recommended to you. So there's two types of thumbs up. There's I don't have a double thumbs up because I have really bad RNG here. When you have a cat bun that has one of your recommended flavors, you have this type of thumbs up. And when you have a cat bun that has two of your recommended flavors, it has a more pronounced thumbs up. It'll be like, I think, a bit more red. More red and pronounced thumbs up. So that's just letting you know that cat bun has at least one of your recommended flavors. And for those who don't know, the reason why certain flavors are... Yeah, there it is. You can see here, this one. The reason why certain flavors are recommended is because you can see where it recommends strong for me. The level 5 bonus is going to increase my fire damage, which is what I need for my current spec. So the recommendations are recommending based on your current class's elemental damage type. So it's giving me the thumbs up on Chubby because it's fire damage. It's giving me the thumbs up on Strong because it's fire damage. Ahmed asks, do you always combine T3s? Yes. Most of the time, yes. Getting the URs once you unlock Gen 3 is very important, and they have a lot more stats. So, now that we've gotten this far in the stream, let's do another giveaway. That's right, it's time for a second giveaway for those who've been hanging out here. I really appreciate you guys hanging out, and I hope I've been able to answer quite a lot of your questions. And as a thank you, we're going to do another giveaway here. So as before, the way this is going to work is I'm going to say a word, and then you're going to type that word in chat, and then I'm going to randomly pick a winner. So the word for this giveaway is cat buns. Go, go, go. Cat buns. You can type it with or without a space. Cat Buns. Go, go, go. Good luck, everyone. And we will be randomly picking a winner here. All right. That's a lot of cat bun spam. You love to see it. And 3, 2, 1, and over. All right. And the winner of this giveaway is Reindeer 1985. Reindeer 1985, congratulations. You have won this giveaway. You are the winner. Congrats to you. Don't worry, for those who have not won, there's always going to be more chances in the future. But for now, congrats to Reindeer 1985. You are the winner, and in order for you to collect your prize, please join our Discord if you have not already, and reach out to Natto on Discord, who will get your prize organized for you. For everyone else who's just chilling out here, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the subscribe button, like button, and join the Discord as well. By the way, for those who did not catch my last video, we're just going to let you know that we have changed our weekly giveaway system. Originally, we were only considering comments from the actual giveaway video, but moving forward, we're going to be considering comments from all of our videos. So any comment on any of our videos for that week will be entered automatically into the weekly giveaway, and you have a chance to win. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. You do not have to just comment on the giveaway video. It can be any of our videos, and best of luck to everyone. Appreciate you all for being here. So just gonna wrap a little bit up here, and just if there's any last minute sort of general Q&A questions, feel free to ask me. It's been a long stream. I'm ready to go cook up a few things, have something to drink. You know how it is. Sarbas, the new update for C, which was mentioned in previous video update, will be added. So, Sarb, the thing that will be coming tomorrow, most likely, with the new update is going to be just the patch notes and the cross-server matchmaking. And then the wish list and the new event is most likely going to arrive a day after. So the next day or two, we're going to get the new Chinese New Year events, the wish lists, and as well the new patch notes tomorrow, plus the cross-server matchmaking as well. That's what's coming our way. Lin Sim asks, do fashion sets return? That's a good question, and I don't actually know. I think that they do rotate. So I believe they would come back, but I'm not 100% sure. Someone would have to verify that who has played the other versions for a long time. They do. Thank you for verifying. So Natasha has confirmed to me that outfits do in fact return, so you don't have to worry about that. If you miss them, you'll have another chance to get them. Edo asks, do I need to level up the side Melomon because I'm just loving the main Melomon? So Edo, there's a bigger answer to that question. The answer is yes, but in order for me to answer that question properly, I'd suggest you go after the stream to my YouTube channel and look up proper ways to level up your Melomon, because I have a video just on that topic, and it'll give you a really good understanding on how to level up your Melomon all the way until the end of Class Change 2. So that's what I would recommend you do, because the answer is yes, but if you want to know why, check out that video. Sarab, yeah, there's going to be a patch notes tomorrow and most likely more events releasing on the 22nd. Eugene says that it'll not come back for a long time. It's possible it'll be a while before it comes back. The same outfits, but anyway. Sarb says, yeah, I wanted to ask the same. You're hoping the wizard broom will also return? Well, one thing I do know, Sarab, is that for those who don't know, and I'll say it now for those who are not aware, this Dragon's Hoard Lake event, is a repeating event. So we are going to get this again after it expires. It's not necessarily going to come again immediately after it ends, but we will get it again in the future. So if you don't quite get all the copies of the broomstick, for example, you may have a chance to get it again when that event comes back. Mark asks, when's the next paper plane event for free-to-play players? The next paper plane event for free-to-play players, I believe, is going to be in... Is it paper plane week 8 or week 9? Let me just double check for you. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the next paper plane that's going to be for free-to-play players is going to be week 9 because that's another dual artifact week. So week 9 is going to be your next important week for free-to-play players. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the guys in chat confirming now. Thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I was always confused if it was 8 or 9, but it's 9 in fact. Eugene asks, just a question, what haste attack speed do you need to make your tactical skill at 0 cooldown? So Eugene, actually, it's not haste that makes my tactical skill 0 cooldown. It's not related to haste. The reason my tactical skill is at 0 cooldown is because of a combination of 2 abilities here. So number 1, I have Overload State, which upon casting reduces the cooldown of all your tactical skills by 4 seconds. Plus, here, wait, where is it exactly? 1 second. Yeah. The level 90 bonus here is reducing the cooldown of Shadow Zero by 1 second. So this ability has a 5-second cooldown. This Shadow Zero has a 5-second cooldown. So while Overloaded State is active, it reduces it by 4 seconds, which makes it a 1-second cooldown. And then the level 90 bonus reduces that again by a second, which gives it a 0-second cooldown. Does it need to be legendary to make it 0 cooldown? I don't know. I don't think so. I actually don't know that. I don't know. I don't think it does, but someone who doesn't have these skills legendary might be able to confirm that, but I don't think it matters. As long as you have the required levels, I think that's all. Ado asks, are you leveling up the blue moves to boost combat power? I'm not sure what you mean, but the reason there's blue moves there is because it then allows me to spend more XP on offensive abilities instead of powering up the legendary defensive abilities. So technically it can give you more combat power, but it's more that it allows you to prioritize offensive stats as opposed to defensive ones. Do I have the full math for the damage calculation? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's a secret. No, I'm kidding. If I ever have the desire to really dig deep into the full-on calculation for damage, then I will make a video on it. But yeah, I do know most of it, but it's a little convoluted as these things are. And all you need to know is that most of the stat weights are understood relative to the combat formula. So anytime people recommend stats, that's with the proper testing done, not just like arbitrary. Hi Natos, how do we get UR Capons if we already used all 15 slots? So yellow, you get an additional 3 attempts to combine for UR Capons every day. So the answer is patience. If you're already 0 out of 15, then you have to wait because every day it recharges 3 attempts. And then you just have to get your 3 tries each day and hope your RNG pulls through. That's why I'm really, cat buns have been. Mr. Dark says, after I switch to blue moves, my attack stats drop. Mr. Darks, it depends how you're doing things. So let me explain. Your attack stats should not drop from dropping your defensive moves to blue. You're not swapping all your moves to blue. You're just swapping your defensive stats, 3 of them. You're 1 slot to blue. Everything else you're not swapping at all. So you have two separate considerations there. If I change this slot here, I'm not going to drop any stats. Now, if you change this to blue and you didn't level it up back to the same level, you could have lost some stats from your move bonus, for example, but it wouldn't reduce your actual offensive stats. Dreamu, as DPS, when should we combine cat buns? You should wait ideally until level 9 bakery. You should wait until level 9 bakery because that's when you unlock your best in slot UR, which is going to be the SP kitty coin, the pink cheese cat. So once you reach level 9, you can just start going crazy because you need to get this. It's the best by far for DPS. Blake says I might have missed why we have blue moves. It's just a little optimization that you can do because each different rarity of moves requires different amount of experience to reach higher levels. So with less XP, I can take the blue move to a higher level, which means then I get extra XP that I can use on other slots, on other move slots. So that's how that works. So Lynn asks, if I get a better flavor cat bun UR, if I evaluate an already upgraded cat onto it, does the paw upgrade transfer to the new cat? Duplicates, I mean. That's a good question, Lynn, and I actually don't know the answer to that. I actually don't know the answer to that. I've never tried it myself. Hopefully. That's my answer. My answer is hopefully, but I don't know yet. When I try it myself, I'll definitely let you know. What level do Dragon Event and Cat Buns unlock? I don't remember exactly, sorry. I don't remember. Fear asks, after tomorrow's update, that's no longer viable anyway, the rare moves, right? My understanding from how they've written is it is probably not going to be viable anymore because they said they're going to be basing these slot levels off of legendary rarity anyway. So it could be that they maybe view the blue rarity thing as a bit of a quote-unquote, not an exploit per se, but as just like something they don't like because they are basically nerfing that tomorrow. It may still work the same way, but I doubt it will. Verse asks, how much determination and crit should I focus on my ranger? I'm at 30% right now. Verse, so it's less important what you should aim for, like as a fixed number, and more that you should try to keep them balanced. So depending on your overall progression, if your stats allow you to get 30%, then you should try to balance them 30%, 30%. If you're more progressed, more geared, and you can get 40%, 40%, then that's great. But the idea is just to keep them balanced without sacrificing your other stats like haste, mastery, attack, crit damage, etc. So that's how that works. There's not really like... There is kind of a diminishing returns aspect to it, so after a certain percentage, it becomes less viable. But anyway... I'm gonna do this dragon here quickly. For those wondering what I just did, I always offset my awakening skill by a few seconds because that allows me to have my awakening active for when I get peak stacks of my debuff. So it increases damage output by a little bit. Probably not, Vincent. We're probably not. We're probably not. Yeah, mounts with CC1, cap and CC2. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if I have the right Melomon equipped. Am I on? I'm on sharpness right now, which is not ideal, but maybe we'll... Let's see once we get the boss lower HP if it'll kick in. I forgot to switch. My damage output is actually quite low compared to what it should be because I'm lacking the kitty coin cat button skill. It actually reduces my damage quite a lot compared to what it would normally be. Dreamer says for DPS, when should we combine? I actually answered your question a couple times, but it's level bakery level 9. Bakery level 9. So you can get the kitty coin UR bun. Alright, let's see. I wonder if this is now going to be considered sub 50% for the boss. Oh, Eugene, if you want to know how to pick what becomes manual and auto, you actually have to just click or press and hold. If you press and hold the auto button, it pulls up the menu. You just have to hold it instead of just tapping on it. And then you can adjust which skill individually is going to go on manual or auto. For those who didn't know that, if you hold on the auto button, you can then menu select. You can menu select whether you want skills on auto or manual. But yeah, my damage as a Night Weaver definitely needs a bit of work, unfortunately. Ali says, can you show the damage? Which damage do you mean? Specify. Thanks, Miko. Yeah, I'm griefed. Yeah, we're almost at the DPS level to kill the dragon. Getting there. Getting there. GG. Anyway, guys. I think that's going to be the end for me here. That's going to be the end for me here. Thank you so much for sticking around. I didn't intend on streaming for a couple hours. Thought I'd just do a quick stream here, but there were a lot of guys who came into chat, so I appreciate it. So thanks for being here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the stream, and as well, join our Discord server if you haven't already. Thank you all for being here. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully you got a few answers to your questions. Just remember, if you have any other questions about any other part of the game, just remember that I have a lot of videos about a lot of different topics. I've made playlists for all the different systems, so check it out if there's anything you're missing. Just find the video. There's probably something already made that has your answer. So anyway, take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next stream. We are going to be streaming a little more often, so if you didn't get something you wanted or answered this stream, there's always the next stream. So see you around, everyone. Take care.